Gosh almighty. As a dog, I was so upset when I saw that they had leaked a transcript of a deal that all the sinister, evil, conservative judges had made in the Supreme Court to take away the woman's right to choose. As a dog, let me just say it straight up, okay? We're much more liberal as dogs because they took away our gonads. Once they chop off your gonads and they make you a eunuch, all of a sudden you're like, whatever, what the F ever, as far as I'm concerned. After that, anything goes. You chop my balls off, this is a good strategy? You're looking at the guy, you're like, hey, what? My balls? You're chopping my balls off and this is a good strategy? And the guy's like, yeah, believe me, it's a good thing. It's what we do. It helps. It's going to help me. They have no balls. But it makes you more liberal because, hey, anything goes. After that, you're like, anything goes. Whatever. It's a harsh thing to go through. But it makes you much more liberal. If a woman, she wants to have an abortion, you're like, whatever. You should probably try to do it when it's not a real baby. You shouldn't try to yank a baby out and try to kill it. But if it's like a glob, if it's a globule of cells, maybe you could flush it out. It won't be so bad. Maybe that would be acceptable at a certain point. But if once it could feel something, but I'm a dog, I don't know. To me, if once it could feel something new, it might be, and a plant knows when you're talking to it. A plant goes, I'm going to get a bigger, a fern goes, I'm going to get a bigger whatever, a bigger frond. The fern says, I'm going to make a bigger frond because the lady keeps talking to me. If a fern can do something when you talk to it, it has enough sense, then a baby probably at like 6, 8, 7, 8, 15 weeks, something. It's going to have some sense, a little sense. I don't know. I'm a dog. I have no research to back up my opinions, so whatever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But, on the other side of the coin, you have the, as a dog, I'm more liberal, so I'm like, whatever. Que sera, sera, you got to do what you got to do. I would say, hey, try to be merciful and kind and good, and maybe be responsible and own up. You should do, If you had made the choice to do something that could result in a baby, maybe you should accept the responsibility of the baby. Maybe that would be good for you, and that would be good for everybody. But whatever, I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be wrong. Maybe you shouldn't accept responsibility for your actions. I don't know. It could be. I'm only a stupid dog, so I don't know. It could be. It could not be. I don't know. It could be, but maybe not. But the one thing I will say is those evil conservative, they want to dictate. They're really truly fascists. Those, the one guy from the black guy, for instance, Clarence Thomas. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started on that guy. And that Neil Gorsuch, or maybe he's a good one. I think Neil Gorsuch was the one that didn't even get. I don't even know. But the guy with the Kavanaugh, he's so ready, and And Porter Roberts from the old days, when Roberts was back from when you could be conservative, now you have to be a freaky dick, You have to be a nut job to be a conservative. And Roberts is like, gosh almighty, I would like to be a conservative, but you're making me be a liberal. Roberts is like, I got to do Obamacare. Roberts is probably voting for the abortion because he's like, it got to be reasonable. Conservative is being reasonable, not, occultishly strange, cultishly fixated. But that's okay. I'm probably wrong. I'm a stupid dog. What do I know? I don't know anything. But anyways, believe me. The one thing I did want to check out, and I was going to get to it. Just I think I have like a bug or a flea. It's like so I have to gnaw on my back. Hang on 1 second, please. I got to gnaw on my back. And that weird Italian judge who replaced Scalia before Scalia died, Inferno, man. I think he goes by Inferno. He's the one who said. He shook his head against Obama when Obama was saying something. He's an Italian guy, so what are you going to do? You can never trust those Italians sometimes. And you never know. But I'm a dog. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong about the whole thing. Because I'm just a stupid dog. And because they chopped my balls off, I'm a lot more liberal than I probably should be. But anyways, the one thing I was going to say was that those judges, those fascist judges, like Kavanaugh and Scalia's ghost and Aunt Betty. Don't forget about Justice Clarence Thomas, the guy that they had him on the Uncle Ben's rice, and then they had to change the name because it was like, you can't have a Supreme Court justice on the Uncle Ben's rice, so they changed the whole thing. But whatever. I'm probably wrong about that anyways. I'm probably mistaken, but I'm so stupid. I'm a dog. What are you going to do? I'm a dog. So I could be wrong. I could be right. I could be wrong. I had to bite my butt before and get a flea off. But the main thing I wanted to say was that, I'm a little bit more liberal because of everything I've gone through. And in my times, there was, in the old day, in my oldest, faintest dog remembrance, way before I was born, before my dad and my grandfather were born, they used to routinely eat puppies. And so if you're talking about abortion, you're like, hey, there's got to be a little gap in there where it's like a blob. Because in the old days when we'd be starving, my furthest foggy dog remembrance, I remember, they would say, hey, good thing you're pregnant because it's a famine here. And I think there's no game around. I think we're going to be eating, I hope you have like 6. We're going to eat them, like they're going to be like a delicacy, head first, right down. We're going to be eating those babies, those little puppies. And that's called cannibalism. And you had to do some cannibalism. So in my perspective, having no balls, having faint dog memories of eating, the puppies, because we had to survive ourselves. Abortion, if it's just a blob it can't feel, there's some part of me that says, hey, whatever. The rest of it, I'm saying, be responsible. And, at some point, if it can feel, if a houseplant, if a carrot can say, don't throw me in the pot, the carrot's thinking, don't throw me in the pot of boiling water over here. If a lobster knows enough to say, hey, I'm struggling, I don't want to go into the pot, I'm going to try to escape, I'm going to try to run. Like in the Woody Allen movie, the lobsters ran. If they can run, if a lobster could run, maybe a baby, I don't know how many weeks, but it's like a powerful amount of juice in a baby. You could probably do it before his, whatever. But I'm his dog, I'm stupid, I don't know any better. But this is one thing I heard the man saying. The man was so mad about abortion. The man's very conservative. And the man, he got so mad because he says, you're throwing away the 22 election. Or if it was 22, I think it's 22. He says, you're throwing away the 22, you're throwing away the House of Representatives and you're throwing away the Senate. The man, he was yelling. The man doesn't normally do this. The man opened up all the corridors in the manor house and he walked through all the best rooms and up staircases I haven't seen in years. Some staircases, back entrances, the first time I saw him, other than in my dog remembrance, I'll just say that much. But this was amazing. And he walked up to the belfry. They call it a belfry up at the top. It's like a spire they built so you could holler out to all your neighbors. And he said, they're throwing away the 22 election and probably 24 over here. You're killing me over here, he said. He said, you just killed Trump, he said. You just killed Trump. He said, you just killed Trump. That's what he was yelling out across the manor lawns. You just killed Trump because he said if it turns out that this draft proposal for striking down Roe V. Wade, if it happens, it's going to be a godsend to the poor, helpless, foolish Republicans. And I'm only a stupid dog. The man, he's an oxygen deprivation, survivor. So he's like half of whatever, and he knows. And he's up there in the belfry shouting across the manor lawns. There was an old lady out there. She staggered a little when she heard him yelling. I don't think he reached too many people, but he was saying, "You're throwing away the 22, the Senate. You're throwing away the House. You just slew Trump." He said, and he said, "I'm going to write a postcard to Justice Roberts. I'm going to say thank you, good job. You just killed Trump." And I said, "Well, I'm just a dog. I'm a fool." In him, he's oxygen deprivation, man. He's got a lot of bad oxygen deprivation damage in his brain. So who knows? It could be. Who knows? It could be not.